Well, I wanted to take just a brief moment to show you some exciting things that taskTracker and FAIRWAYiQ have brought together. My name is Jamie Sharp. I am the owner and founder of taskTracker. We also have Dave Van Zlet, who is the founder of FAIRWAYiQ on this demo. But we wanted to show you the collaboration that we've put together, which we now call EliteiQ, the ability to get some of your actual data into taskTracker and also be able to push taskTracker data into the FAIRWAYiQ system to get more accurate reporting. So I wanted to show you just a brief demo of how that works. We're looking at a board today that shows jobs that are signed by employee. For those who don't have our Elite system, these green dots indicate that there's a piece of equipment attached to it. And if I open up this individual, I can see that they've been assigned these pieces of equipment. If a piece of equipment is assigned and they have a FAIRWAYiQ sensor attached to it, we start to get some pretty powerful data. One of those pieces of data that we start to receive is if we look on our display board, which is our job board that's out in the break room, we can actually get a sense where each person is in real time. Right now, all these people are back in the maintenance building, but as they move out throughout the course, we'll see these whole assignments change to ones, twos, wherever they're located. So it's very easy to pick up where every person is on the golf course. Along with that, we'll also get an indication of how efficient we're being on the course. So we can see our transport time versus our active time. This is all data that is brought in from the FAIRWAYiQ system. Looking at this at a glance, you can really start to dial in your operation to see where you can become more efficient, whether it's holding back golfers a little bit extra to give them more time for maintenance to be completed so your efficiency goes up, and being able to balance those ROIs with golfers versus maintenance on the golf course. It's really easy to see what pieces of equipment we have in the system. We just go ahead equipment management. This is our complete list of equipment that we have loaded for this course. You would build out your equipment. Then that equipment would go ahead and link with the FAIRWAYiQ sensors. As that's assigned, we're going to get all of that information being passed back between the two of them. What I'd like to do is I'd like to pass this over to Dave Van Zlet. He'll show you how that data is assimilated in his program and how it can even be more beneficial to see taskTracker and FAIRWAYiQ together.
Well, thanks, Jamie. This is Dave, everyone. So the first thing to note in the FAIRWAYiQ system is that we have pulled from taskTracker, as you'll see here, all of the groups as you've set them up in taskTracker, and then under each group, all of the individual tasks with the budgeted amount of hours that you've scheduled for those individual tasks. So as Jamie spoke about before, we're taking the equipment that goes out, gets assigned to an operator, has a FAIRWAYiQ sensor in the equipment, and we are tracking the amount of time that it takes to do each and every task assigned on the taskTracker job board. So let's take an example here. In the category of greens, there are 5 tasks that were done on the same day that we were just using in the example that Jamie showed. We click into that, and you'll notice that we've got a number of tasks. You'll see the budgeted hours here and the actual hours that it took for each task here. So let's click into one here, mow greens. And you'll notice that the budgeted hours of 4 hours, it really took 6 hours and 29 minutes exactly to do this task. The piece of equipment was called T-Mower 1. Now what you'll notice here is the next level of data down. We've got the actual time that it was spent working versus transporting in between areas of, or in between, in this case, actual mowing of greens. And so you'll see that the piece of equipment left the maintenance facility at 4:46 a.m. This was the operator that was assigned in taskTracker. Took 18 minutes to get to the first job, the first task, and then each and every green that was mowed was logged for the day automatically. This happens automatically in the background for you. You don't have to be out there with a stopwatch. All of this data can be set up in a way that so you'll be notified on various things. Notified if guys are taking too long in transport time compared to normal times, and notified if you're behind schedule on certain tasks. In the end, this will get pushed back to taskTracker, and we will recommend average times that you should update your budget if you'd like to accept that. So in this case, if the average amount of times that it takes to mow greens is really 6 hours and 29 minutes, and your budget is 4 hours, you can go ahead and accept the average times there. There's also a map view that many folks do stand up next to the taskTracker job board in the break room, and this will allow you to, during the day, see where things are, where your guys are, trace where they've been at various points of the day, and get that next level of detail when you're trying to analyze efficiency problems.
So Dave, that's really exciting stuff, and that's why we've partnered with you, is because having those actual data is so important to being able to tell how to become more efficient on the golf course and to accurately put those dollars where they're actually being spent, so you can present those to your committees or to your board. We like a saying here, it's break room to the boardroom. We want to have an easy setup in the break room, and then we want to have that data available for you to display in the boardroom so they can see exactly what you're doing on the course. Now, as David mentioned, we see those actuals versus those estimate times. We can also see that on the taskTracker side. So if we go into our time management piece and we want to get really detailed on the data, we click on this equipment manage time, and we can actually pull up all of these pieces of equipment that went out. And I can pull up a piece of equipment like this GUV1. I can look at the actual time. I'm going to go to the 10th, which we were looking at here. We can pull up this piece of equipment. We can see that it went out it was estimated for 4 hours. That actually spent 6 hours out there. Now, that's a pretty big difference there, and that's the kind of level of detail that we're going to start to get when we're using the FAIRWAYiQ sensors along with the taskTracker. Both systems will work seamlessly together to pull this to make your reports more accurate so you're more confident in the boardroom presenting that data.